Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So here I have another 10 pens currently inked for this week. I think let's go through these briefly one by one. We'll go through them in a little bit more detail and then we'll do a writing sample. So from left to right we have the Montblanc, and this is the Karl de Grosse or Karl the Great. We have a Montblanc, and this is the Petit Prince, Aviator, Solitaire, Doué. We have a Montblanc Writer's Edition Jane Austen. We have a Visconti Empire. We have a Danitrio Maki-E Ancient Dragon with Flowers by Kagaku. We have a Cypress, and this is the Raden Mosaic number 4. We have a Cypress, and this is the Maki-E Goldfish. We have a Urushi Studio India Xypos-R. We have a Danitrio, and this is the Takumi Moonlit Grass, and we have a Danitrio Bamboo Story. So I think let's take a look at these pens in a little bit more detail. This is a Montblanc Karl de Grosse or Karl the Great. Beautiful sterling silver pen here that you can see with this twisted facets. Really beautiful with gold trim here and cap bands. Beautiful pen. It's a 4810 Montblanc. It's not a regular edition, so it is a little bit more expensive. I was able to pick this up for a good price. This comes with a Montblanc number 6 size, 4810 medium nib. It's a little bit shorter in my hand if I were to write with it like this. I can still write with it. It's a piston filling pen. I can post that cap, but it's very back weighted. That cap weighs a ton. So it's not something I would normally do. If the cap was lighter, I probably would look at maybe posting this pen or posting the cap. But the weight of that cap is really too heavy, or I feel it's too heavy to be posted on a regular basis. The next pen inked up is the Montblanc, and it is the Le Petit Prince. It is the Aviator, it is the Solitaire, it is a Doué, a beautiful pen. I believe the body here is platinum, and it's engraved with sand dunes. You have the Le Petit Prince here. You have the Aviator style leather sort of eye mask or hat that they would wear. You've got a plane here, you've got sand dunes carved into the leather. And you've got a planet here as well. You've got this stitching as well. Really, really beautiful pen. It's a heavy pen. It's not a light pen. I think it's about 60-65 grams in weight. You've got a number 6 size Montblanc, 18 karat gold, a medium nib there. Like a lot of the writer's editions, you can't post the cap on this. But it is already a long pen, so that doesn't bother me. I'm not normally a cap poster, but the section maybe is becoming a little bit on the thinner side. Do I find silver section slippery? I do not. The threads are not as high as I'd like them to be. They're pretty pronounced, but I don't really feel that when I'm gripping the pen. So again, that doesn't bother me, but I know if you do hold your grip a little bit higher up, then yes, you will probably feel those threads there. The next pen here is the Montblanc Writer's Edition Jane Austen, and this again is a heavy pen. I want to say 2/3 of the weight is in the cap though. Beautiful cap finial here. I really love what Montblanc did here. A beautiful, beautiful inscription on that cap. Also a very beautiful clip as well. It's another piston filling pen. Very weighty cap, as I said. Sort of a chrome or silver coloured section with a Montblanc number 6 size, 18 karat gold medium nib, and you've got Jane Austen's silhouette there on the nib. That's one thing that Montblanc do a lot of good work on, is the engravings on their nibs. You can actually find that this is actually a decent weight pen. It's a decent length as well. You can't post the cap on this either. It is a piston filling pen. but it just really feels right. So I love writing with that pen. I know everybody that, at least I know of, that I penabled into that pen have also loved that pen. Everybody seems to enjoy that pen. It is quite a weighty pen, but a lovely pen. The next pen inked up is the Visconti Empire. I've had this inked up for a few weeks now. I love this pen a lot. It's got a lovely original 18 karat gold nib on here. This was before Visconti switched to 23 karat palladium and then back to the 18 and 14 karat gold nibs. The clip is quite functional. It's just a beautiful pen. It's got a vermeil or sterling silver overlay, which is vermeil gold plated. It's a power vac filling pen, and I just love it. It's a semi-translucent demonstrator. You've got an ink window here as well. I've got a number 6 size 18 karat gold fine nib on this. I didn't. The private seller I bought this off of on eBay, I didn't have the choice of the nib, so I just went with a fine nib. I'm so glad that it came with a fine nib, because this writes more like a medium to broad, and I just love that. Can I post the cap? Yes, I can do. It will post deeply and securely, but I am worried of that going over that band and possibly expanding that edge of the cap and cracking. I've seen this on a lot of vintage pens, even modern pens, so you do have to be careful posting caps, because that certainly is the weakest part normally, especially if the cap band isn't right close towards the edge of that cap edge. The next pen that inked up is this one, and this is a Danitrio, and this is the Maki-E Ancient Dragon with Flowers by Kagaku. It's a higher tan model, which is the shape of this model. Absolute work of art here. You've got the wind, you've got a oriental dragon here as well. You've got the flowers here, and you've even got some grapevine. I believe it's grapevine there. Really, really stunning pen. It is Aka-Tamenuri, although a little bit more on the browner side. It's not actual Toki Tamenuri, but you'll see here it has a number 6 size Danitrio Fireball nib, and that's an 18 karat gold medium nib on that one. Decent size in my hand. It is a cartridge converter pen, and I certainly can post that cap. The higher tans are designed to be posted, but it is a cartridge converter. There's no metal inside, so I could eyedrop it if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. It's an ebonite base of a pen, so you could eyedrop that if you so wished, but I prefer to try and stay away from eyedroppers as much as I can. I do have a few, but I'm always worried about them leaking. If I were transporting them somewhere, it's a lot of capacity of ink potentially to leak out. The next pen inked up is Cypress, and I've been on a bit of a Cypress or Mr. Cypress kick over the last couple of years. I do like ebonite based bodies. I do like Maki-E. I do like Urushi. I do like Raden, and this ticks all of those boxes. You've got these lovely sort of gold bands here with crushed duck's eggs and abalone shell just twisting around this body. This is the Cypress Maki-E Raden 4. 4 is because there were multiple versions of this pen, iterations, and this was the 4th one, and I like this one the most. And if I unscrew that cap, you'll see a little bit of a bronzy section here, Urushi lacquered, and it's got a number 6 size Cypress, and it's an 18 karat gold medium nib. It's a little bit on the shorter side for me, a little bit on the thinner of the section for me. I can post the cap. It's not going to post deeply and really not securely. Probably not really designed to be posted. But I can write with that without posting it, so that's not an issue. It's a cartridge converter pen, and I do love not only writing with that pen, but also just seeing that abalone shell sparkle. Just is insane. The next pen inked up is again another Mr. Cypress or Cypress. This is the Maki-E Goldfish, and it just reminds me of the Visconti Empire. I think they did a goldfish or a carp fish one, and this really just has a lot of detail in it. So you've got these goldfish here, you've got a whirlpool, and it just looks perfect. You've got the sort of vegetation down here at the bottom, so almost like it's in I'd say a fish tank, and you've got another big goldfish there. It just is quite stunning. The amount of work, a lot of gold sort of sparkles here, or paint, and it's Urushi lacquered, I believe, and this is a number 6 size, 18 karat gold, medium nib, Cypress nib there. Again, I can post that cap. It's not going to post deeply or securely. Probably really not designed to be posted. It is, again, on the shorter, thinner side of pens that I typically like, but these two pens just spoke to me, and I just wanted to add those to my collection. I did think that they might be, like, the actual size of these pens in terms of length isn't really too much of an issue. I'd say, though, it's the thinness or thickness of the pen and the section. That's typically where I typically find that I would prefer something a little bit on the more girthier side. The next pen inked up is the Urushi Studio India Xypos-R. I picked this up a number of years ago. I think it was pre-pandemic, and I remember coming home and I was looking on Instagram, and I literally just walked in the door and I saw this on Instagram, and I was like, wow, it's Aka-Tamenuri. I love Aka-Tamenuri. And I reached out to Urushi Studio India, and it was still available at that point because it had only been posted about an hour prior. And I said, I'll take this one. And it really is a beautiful colour. You've got this fading going on here between the cap and the body that some artists do. You've got a black ebonite section there, and a number 6 size, a Yovo steel nib. It's a medium nib. I could have got a gold nib on it. I didn't. I wanted to keep the price down on this pen. I'd bought quite a few pens around that time, so I just felt that I probably should keep the price down. And I like that steel nib. It's a really nice writing nib. I can't post the cap. It's a cartridge converter pen, but it feels really nice. And I just like Urushi, and I do like Aka-Tamenuri. That's really my favourite colour. So I did pick that one up when I did. The next pen here is the Danitrio, and this is the Takumi, and it is the Moonlit Grass. I bought this from a private collector, William Shakur. I love the Urushi clip here. You've got the moon here, lots of writing, and then you've got the grass, hence the name Moonlit Grass. Beautiful Aka-Tamenuri body. I just like Aka-Tamenuri. It's like looking through a fish pond or a clear lake. You get the reflections coming out, so you see slightly different colours of the red Aka-Tamenuri. Beautiful colour, and I just love Aka-Tamenuri. It's out of all the Urushi colours, that's really the one I like the most. Then I think Toki-Tamenuri, then Heki-Tamenuri. But Aka-Tamenuri is definitely the best for me. I got a number 6 size Danitrio Fireball nib there. It's 18 karat gold fine nib. Just a beautiful pen. I can post that cap. I don't want to, though, because I can feel the raised texture of all of this grass here. And I think if you continue to post that cap on a regular basis, you are going to probably scratch some of that or mar the finish. But this is a beautiful pen. Glad that I could pick it up when I did. And I love that pen a lot. Not been running with it up until, well, I haven't been running with it for quite some time until recently. And I decided I needed to try and get back and start running with some of my beautiful pens that I have. And that included this one. Again, another Danitrio, and this is the Bamboo Story. And this was just a great pen. I bought it from or at the London Pen Show a number of years ago. I want to say it was 2018. It might have been 2019. I think it was. Now I think about it, I think it might have been 2017 October or 2018 October. Beautiful pen, and I remember seeing it after going around the show a number of laps. Saw it on this table, and I just had to buy it there and then. It's a crazy looking pen. I had the budget, I had the money with me, or I knew I had the money in my bank account. Maybe I didn't have it with me. And I just decided I had to have this. Again, Aka-Tamenuri just speaks to me. Beautiful pen. And it does look like a bamboo stick. But it really is stunning. It's a girthy pen. And this one has a number 8 size Danitrio nib there. And that's an 18 karat gold fine nib. But it is a girthy pen. Very, very thick pen. Even the section is thick. It's an eyedropper pen. You can't post the cap on this. You do have essentially a release valve here, which you unscrew like a piston knob, but that sort of allows you to regulate the flow of the ink. It's just a lovely pen, but it's not a pen that I will take with me or write with me all the time with. But I just love taking that out and writing with it from time to time. So there you have it. That's my 10 pens currently inked for this week. I think let's now go and do a writing sample. So the first pen inked up this week is the Montblanc, and it's the Karl the Grosse or Karl the Great. Now I do have a little bit of a blue ink drop here, so I'll just go over this, but you should see most of the colour. It's going to be grey here. Ooh, that had a little bit of paper fibres from that. But I think that should be okay. So this is the Montblanc. And it is the Karl the Grosse. And it is a medium, and it is an 18 karat gold nib. And the ink in here is Pelican Edelstein, and it's Moonstone, which I do still regret that. That was an ink of the year, one of the years. I want to say 2019, possibly 2018 maybe. I do still feel it's a little bit too light a grey. They should have done it a bit more darker grey. The next pen inked up is the Montblanc, and this is the Le Petit Prince Aviator Solitaire Doué. So we'll do an ink swatch here. And the ink in this pen it's a lubricated ink, but it just makes this pen write beautifully. So this is the Montblanc. I'm just going to abbreviate it to Le Petit Prince. And maybe put in Aviator as well. And it's a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. And the ink in here is KWZ, and it is Nuki Brown. Short for Newcastle Brown. And Nuki Brown is Nuki Brown Ale or Newcastle Brown Ale. And that Nuki Brown ink from KWZ is was the Newcastle Brown Ale sort of themed ink for the Newcastle Pen Show. And I think that was a really, really good shot from UK pen shows, getting that ink made up. I love that colour of ink. The next pen inked up is a Montblanc Writer's Edition Jane Austen. And I do still have a few bottles of that KWZ Nuki Brown ink. I will be sad when that eventually runs out, because it was a pen show exclusive, and I don't think it's going to come back. Or at least it hasn't done yet. So this is an ink swatch here, and this is the Montblanc Writer's Edition. and it is the Jane Austen. And it is a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. And the ink in here is Pilot Iroshizuku Aji Sei. I'll be sad when that ink runs out as well. It's a very well lubricated ink. It just makes that pen right spectacular. The next pen inked up is the Visconti Empire, and we'll do an ink swatch here. I know this ink, I want to say it is getting low. I'm just looking in the pen there. Hopefully it doesn't run out yet. So this is the Visconti Empire, and it is a medium, and it is an 18 karat gold nib. I was just wondering if that might be 14 karat gold, because it's a lovely bouncy nib, but no, it's an 18 karat gold nib. And then the ink in here is Visconti Turquoise, which is a beautiful turquoise ink. And again, another nib, another pen combination where that just writes beautifully. The next pen inked up is a Danitrio Maki-E Ancient Dragon. This is With Flowers by Kagaku. Bit of a mouthful. It's also a higher tan as well. If I do the ink swatch here, see, it's a very nice writing nib. I did buy this at the London Pen Show at one year. So I'm just going to abbreviate this to Danitrio Maki-E Ancient Dragon. And it's a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. And the ink in here is Diamine Poppy Red. But that is a very nice pen. I do love inking that up and being able to write with that pen, as I do most of my pens. Also that pen. The next pen inked up is the Cypress Raden Mosaic number 4. So we'll do another ink swatch here. And we've got a brown ink, or a light brown, saddle brown coloured ink. So this is the Cypress Raden Mosaic number 4. It's a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. The ink in here is Robert Oster Muddy Bucket. But this is, I feel, a good replacement for Pilot Iroshizuku in a Ho, which is now discontinued and long sold out, most retailer wise. So I'm lucky to be able to use that ink instead. The next pen inked up is the Cypress Maki-E Goldfish. Again, a beautiful pen. I got both of these pens at the same time, and I do love both of these. I am a sucker for Urushi and Maki-E and Raden. It's just a beautiful work of art. So this is the Cypress Maki-E Goldfish. It's a medium, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. And the ink in here is Robert Oster. And it's gold Antiqua. I've had that colour of ink for many, many years now. And I want to say that probably for 6 or 7 years. And it's a gold ink that I do keep inking up now and again. It is a beautiful gold ink. The next pen inked up is the Urushi Studio India Xypos-R in Aka-Tamenuri. We'll do an ink swatch here. Now, this is a Yovo steel nib. It is a medium nib, but it does write nicely. So this is the Urushi Studio India Xyphos R's for the regular length or regular size. It's a medium and it's a steel Yovo nib, as I mentioned. And then the ink in here is Diamine Poppy Red. But that is a beautiful pen again. I just love Urushi, and I will always try and add probably more Urushi to my collection if I can. The next pen inked up is a Danitrio, and this is the Takumi Moonlit Grass. Takumi being the model shape or name. Now this has a really flexible, fine nib. Look at that. Very, very nice writing nib. It's why I started down the road of Danitrio a little bit, because they do have flexible nibs. They are Bock nibs, or at least always were Bock nibs. I don't know about maybe some of their more recent pens, but all the ones that I have Bock nibs on them. So this is the Danitrio, and it is the Takumi, and it is the Moonlit Grass. It's a fine 18 cat gold nib, and the ink in here is Diamine Poppy Red. But that is a nice pen to write with. And then the last pen inked up is the Danitrio Bamboo Story. So we'll do another ink swatch here. This is the number 8 size nib. And you'll see again, this is a very nice writing nib. I wasn't into fine nibs. I've grown to love finer nibs. Still struggle with extra fine nibs, so I just can't go there, unfortunately. So this is the Danitrio, and it is the Bamboo Story. I just find extra fine nibs too extra fine. It's a fine, and it is an 18 cat gold nib. And the ink in here is Diamine Poppy Red. But that is... It's a nib that I love writing with. I can do some fine nibs, but not other fine nibs. But I struggle with extra fine nibs. So I think let's take a look at these pens inked up one more time. We have a Montblanc Karl de Grosse in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Pelican, Edelstein, and Moonstone. We have a Montblanc Le Petit Prince Aviator Solitaire Doué in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with KWZ Nuki Brown. We have a Montblanc Jane Austen in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Pilot Roshizuku Aji Sei. We have a Visconti Empire in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Visconti Turquoise. We have a Danitrio Maki-E Ancient Dragon in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Poppy Red. We have a Cypress Raden Mosaic number 4 in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Robert Oster Muddy Bucket. Actually, I put Muddy Buck there, but it is Bucket. We have a Cypress Maki-E Goldfish in a medium 18 karat gold nib inked up with Robert Oster Gold Antiqua. We have an Urushi Studio India Xypos-R in a medium steel nib inked up with Diamine Poppy Red. We have a Danitrio Takumi Moonlit Grass in a fine 18 karat gold nib inked up with Diamine Poppy Red. And last but not least, we have the Danitrio Bamboo Story in a fine 18-karat gold nib, inked up with Diamond Poppy Red. So there you have it. That's my 10 pens currently inked for this week. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye-bye.